In the shadow of Yankee Stadium's hallowed grounds, where echoes of glory from 27 World Series triumphs still linger like ghosts in the Pinstripes, the sting of yet another postseason failure has ignited a firestorm of fan frustration aimed squarely at one of the team's brightest young stars. Jazz Chisholm Jr., the 27-year-old infielder, acquired in a blockbuster trade from the Miami Marlins just before the July deadline, arrived in the Bronx with the swagger of a prodigy and the promise of injecting youthful fire into a lineup starved for spark. But in the cruel arithmetic of October baseball, where every miscue is magnified and every out feels like an eternity, Chisholm's pivotal error in Game 4 of the American League Division Series against the Toronto Blue Jays has become the scapegoat for a 16th consecutive season without a championship. And if that weren't enough to fuel the fury, photos of Chisholm cutting loose at a glitzy Manhattan nightclub with rap icons 50 Cent and A Boogie with the Hoodie mere days after the defeat have poured gasoline on the flames, transforming a momentary lapse into a symbol of perceived disloyalty and premature celebration. The Yankees' 2025 campaign, which began with World Series aspirations under the steady hand of manager Aaron Boone, unraveled in spectacular fashion last week. After clinching the AL East for the third straight year, New York entered the playoffs as the #1 seed, brimming with the talent of Aaron Judge's Herculean home runs, Garrett Cole's mound mastery, and the electric potential of Chisholm's switch-hitting versatility. Yet, the Blue Jays, that perennial thorn in the side with their opportunistic lineup and bullpen wizardry, exposed the Pinstripers' frailties in a best-of-5 series that culminated in a 5-3 heartbreaker at home. Game 4, played under the glare of a capacity crowd desperate for redemption after the 2024 World Series gut punch to the Dodgers, hinged on a seventh-inning sequence that will haunt Yankees lore for years. With the score knotted at 3-2, Toronto pitcher Cam Schlittler, summoned in a high-leverage spot, induced a tailor-made double-play grounder from Andres Gimenez, the ball rocketing toward Chisholm at second base like a gift from the baseball gods. What should have been a routine flip to shortstop Anthony Volpe for the inning-ending twin killing instead devolved into chaos. The ball, struck with deceptive topspin, glanced off the heel of Chisholm's glove, squirting into center field and prolonging the frame. Ernie Clement, the runner on first, scampered to third, and suddenly the inning that could have kept the Yankees alive teetered on the brink. Toronto capitalized ruthlessly. 2 batters later, Nathan Lukes laced a 2-run single off Devin Williams, the erstwhile closer whose entrance only amplified the drama. The unearned runs swelled the Jays' lead to 5-3, and despite a late rally that saw Gleyber Torres lace a double, New York stranded the tying runs, stranding hope on the base paths. In the post-game hush of the clubhouse, Chisholm's face was a mask of disbelief, his words to reporters carrying the weight of a man replaying infinity in his mind. "Didn't think it was going to play the way it played," he admitted, his voice barely above a whisper. "Been thinking about that since the play happened. Still thinking about it now. At the end of the day we got to move on eventually. I got 3 months to move on now. I'm probably going to be thinking about this when the season starts next year." It was a raw confession, the kind that humanizes an athlete in a city where perfection is the baseline expectation. But humanity, it seems, has no place in the immediate aftermath of Yankee heartbreak. Less than a week later, as the Bronx licked its wounds and front offices dissected the autopsy of another early exit, Chisholm surfaced in a setting as far removed from the Diamond's tension as one could imagine. Petite Disco, a pulsating Manhattan nightclub where the elite mingle under neon haze and bass-thumping beats. Flanked by hip-hop royalty, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson III, the bulletproof entrepreneur whose own comebacks rival any underdog sports tale, and Bronx native A Boogie with the Hoodie, real name artist Dubose, whose gritty lyrics echo the streets Chisholm once called home, the second baseman flashed a grin that struck fans like a betrayal. In the Instagram snapshot posted by 50 Cent, Chisholm hoists a bottle of Chemin du Roi, the rapper's eponymous champagne brand, the King's Path, a moniker dripping with irony given the Yankees' royal frustrations. The bubbly, curiously an official sponsor of the Yankees' arch-nemesis, the Houston Astros, those 2017 cheaters whose specter still haunts the Bronx, adds a layer of salt to the wound. 50 Cent cradles a vibrant pink cup, his trademark smirk intact, while a Boogie lurks in the shadows, exuding the cool detachment of a hometown hero unbothered by baseball's burdens. The image, timestamped Saturday night, detonated across social media like a grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. Yankees fans, a breed as passionate as they are unforgiving, unleashed a barrage of vitriol that blended heartbreak with heresy. What the hell is he doing having fun? He's supposed to be clinically depressed now that we lost. One supporter raged on X, capturing the collective morning ritual that demands players wallow in defeat before daring to exhale. Another, tempering admiration with admonishment, posted, "I like Jazz but just chill a little bit and reflect on the season." The spelling slip, relfect, only amplified the raw emotion, a typo born of thumbs flying in fury. "Can't even wait a week after the L," a third lamented, invoking the unwritten code of postseason protocol. "Grieve first, groove later." The chorus swelled, "Jazz looks like he already got over the error," one quipped, the capital E turning the miscue into a proper noun of infamy. "Embarrassment to the Pinstripes," branded another, evoking the sacred uniform's legacy from Ruth to Jeter. And the knives twisted deeper. "Could be playing tonight if he could hit in the postseason and not make an error in a big spot." Even Chisholm's earlier gaffe, yawning audibly during Game 3, a moment caught on broadcast and memed into oblivion, resurfaced as ammunition. Little less nightlife and he wouldn't be yawning on the field in a postseason game. "Trade Jazz," one fan decreed, echoing the trade rumors that swirled post-acquisition when Chisholm's bat cooled to .242 over 130 games, marred by 148 strikeouts and a postseason swoon. To understand the vitriol, one must contextualize Chisholm's Bronx Odyssey. Traded for prospects in a move hailed as a coup, infusing speed, power and charisma into a lineup heavy on Judge's solo heroics, Chisholm dazzled initially, slashing .306/.364/.500 in August with highlight reel dives and 31 homers for the year. Nicknamed the future in Miami, he brought flair, custom cleats, infectious energy, and a switch-hitting prowess that evoked memories of Bernie Williams. Yet, the playoffs exposed cracks, a .111 average in the ALDS, compounded by that fateful bobble. The error wasn't isolated. It capped a series of misadventures, from errant throws to untimely whiffs, in a city where October pressure forges legends or breaks them. Boone defended his charge post-game, praising Chisholm's electric regular season, but fans, scarred by Aaron Hicks' fade and Gio Urshela's what-ifs, saw only the fresh wound. The nightclub jaunt,